To Creative Broadcasting, the station of unlimited possibilities, presents Creating Your Seat at the Table with your host, Ashley Little, as she welcomes her guest to the table.
Welcome to Creating Your Seat at the Table. I am your host, Ashley Little. A little bit about myself: corporate professional by day, entrepreneur by night, 5-time best-selling author, CEO and founder of Ashley Little Enterprises, LLC, owner and creator of Creative Broadcasting, and founder and owner of Talk Radio and TV Network, LLC. Tonight we have an amazing special VIP guest by the name of Jasmin Williams. A little bit about her. Jasmin is a Clarksville native with an extensive local family history. She comes from a family of educators and veterans. She attended the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, where she received her Bachelor's of Science in Interior Design. She is a lover of all things beautiful. Take her on an adventure anywhere where there are opulent views and exotic foods. She is passionate about designing a life she loves, as well as helping her clients do the same. She is fortunate that her career fulfills most of her passions. Her favorite part about being a realtor is serving her clients. She said, "I get satisfaction from knowing I've helped my clients fulfill their lifelong dreams. Homes are a big deal. I take pride in my work. I'm constantly looking for ways to improve my services for the benefit of my clients." Welcome to the table, the amazing Jasmin Williams.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to talk to you tonight.
I'm happy to talk to you as well. I know you're going to leave us with some wisdom and nuggets on, your entrepreneur journey and, the real estate life and the home buying process. So we can't wait to hear what you're going to share with us tonight. So tell us more about your entrepreneur journey.
Well, I am going on being an entrepreneur for almost 4 years now. I got started after I just decided that I did not want to be in the working force anymore. I was very unhappy at my job. I felt like it was going nowhere. So I pretty much moved from Atlanta with my baby girl, moved back home with my parents, and I decided I was going to get into real estate. And so I took a part-time job or a lesser-paying job just so I could support myself until I got my license. And literally the month that I got my license, I was out of there. So unlike a lot of agents who start off part-time, I went in full-fledged, and I started off being full-time in real estate. I wouldn't say that's necessarily a smart thing to do, but I did it, and I'm still here, and I'm alive. But it's definitely been a journey, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
I love it. You are passionate about designing the life you love, as well as helping your clients do the same. So tell us more about your passion.
So I went to school for interior design, and, being in school is tough. I know a lot of people think about interior design as being, it's this fun major where you just pretty much are decorating all day. It's definitely not like that. It's more like interior architecture. So when I got out of school and got a job with Sherwin-Williams, the paint company, I just knew that I wasn't going to be a designer anymore. And so somehow, Sherwin-Williams and my real estate journey led me back to being a designer. And I ended up working with some people that I knew from home on some design projects, and it really just got me passionate about being able to design spaces for people with all kinds of budgets. So I feel like you can have a luxurious home without the price tag. So everybody can have a little bit of luxury without spending a lot of money.
Let's talk more about that. So what are some things that listeners can do to do that, to have those things without, like you said, without breaking the bank? What are some different things they can do or different resources they can use to do that?
So if you would like me to help you with those things, I offer different types of packages for, like, all price points. So let's say you just want to refresh your home and you just need a couple of ideas. You can consult me and you can just do a consultation. And I charge $150 for a consultation. You don't have to go any further. I can just give you some pointers and some tips and a color scheme to go with. That way you You just have like a starting point for your design. So other than that, I would say for people who are looking to redesign a space they already have, they should start with color as far as like wall colors and changing paint. So paint is going to be the easiest way that you can do it yourself, and that you can update a space without spending a lot of money. So color just transforms rooms, and there are different ways to decide what color is for you. There's something called color psychology, and so when I'm talking to my clients about changing up their space, I'm usually asking them questions like, how do you want to feel at home, or how do you want to feel in this space, to give them a better idea of what direction to go with for their design.
I love that. So make sure for our listeners that are listening, she's not only an amazing realtor, but she has her own interior design business as well. So what is some advice you would give to that listener that wants to grow in the interior design industry? What are some things that they could do to prepare themselves for this industry in order to grow in it for it to be successful for them?
I would say they definitely need to know the basics, because lately I've been seeing a lot of people pop up and say that they're interior designers, but I don't know of any formal training that they've had. But I would say that going to school for design and knowing the basics of, knowing some symmetry and harmony, and knowing about color psychology, knowing about different construction materials, knowing about the different fabric types, knowing about different eras as far as like the history of design and where things have come from as far as like functionality. I would say learn about ergonomics and how, how things work in spaces as far as like spatially, like how much space do I need in order to reach up to this cabinet, or is there enough space for me to fit my legs up under this countertop? Like those type of things are going to be important in design, and just knowing the basics of measurement of basic things in homes. So I would just say they need to start with the basics, knowing about simple construction and how to basically compose a house.
So for our listeners that are listening, I hope you're taking these amazing nuggets down, free nuggets that Jasmin is sharing with us tonight. So I want to go over and talk more about, your real estate side of your business. So will you please share with listeners some advice you would give to them for new homeowners that are looking to buy right now? And, what is some advice you would give to new homeowners?
Well, I would say, I always treat my clients like they're my family or friends. So what I would say is, just earlier today I was just listening to something. Do not wait to buy real estate and wait. Everybody is, trying to get in the perfect place, or trying to have all their ducks in a row to buy. But by the time you get your ducks in a row, the prices are going to be more expensive. So prices are rising by the month. And I see this all the time because I work with investors who flip properties, and properties that we flipped, 3 months ago are already worth more money just 3 months later. So I would say buy now. There's all type of programs out there to help you if you don't have money for down payment. And also, I am a great negotiator. I usually can negotiate closing costs for my clients. So if you just call me and have a conversation with me, we can pretty much get you a game plan of how you can buy in the next 3 to 6 months.
I love that. So definitely make sure you connect with her if you're looking to do that. I like what you said when you said buy real estate and wait. Could you talk more about that? Because like you said, I think people have it backwards, right? Why do you think that?
Right. Go ahead, Ashley. What did you say?
I said, why do you think that is? Why do you think they have it backwards? Like you said, buy real estate and wait instead of doing it the other way.
I think everybody just gets caught up in trying to be perfect, and we all do it. Just trying to wait until this is right and this is together. But I would say that homeownership is definitely a risk. So I feel like just with any other goal that you have, it's a risk that you should just jump out there and do, and not be fearful about it, pray about it, whatever you believe in, and just make sure you're going about it the right way as far as making sure you have a sound property by getting an inspection and all those things. But as far as like buying real estate and wait, real estate has made the most millionaires in the country. So if you're thinking about your family and you're thinking about a retirement plan and you're thinking about your children and generational wealth, you're going to want to own some real estate. You're not going to want to be, 60, retired, and still renting somewhere knowing that you have those expenses over your head. You're going to want to be investing in some property so that you know that at least by the time you retire, you will have a paid-off house to live in.
Absolutely. So important. So, when you're going through this process, it's important that you find the right realtor, right, that you do your research. So what are some strategies you would give to listeners when deciding on that realtor that they want to go with, right? So what are some things they should be looking for?
I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. So, if you're reading up on home ownership, a lot of websites will be like interview realtors and see who you want to go with. I say do that. I have no problem with going against anybody when it comes to if you're interviewing me versus somebody else. I know I work hard for my clients, and everybody knows about my business. I negotiate for my clients, and I do whatever's best for them. I don't sugarcoat things for them. I don't try to tell them things that aren't. I tell you the truth, and you tell me what you want to do, and I give you my advice. So I would say, talk to different agents about their experiences. There are a lot of new agents floating around. Not saying that they're bad or anything, but, I will say that agents with experience are going to have more knowledge on how to help you along with any issues that could come up. So I would just say, having a conversation with different realtors, talking to them about their strategies, and kind of share with them what you're looking for and see who's the best fit for you. It could be a personality thing as well. I would definitely see if that person fits your personality and if you would even like to work with them, because it will be a partnership. You'll basically feel like your realtor is a part of your family after you get finished because it's an emotional process.
It is, right? It definitely is.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you are connected with the right person.
Right.
So, let's share with our listeners some tips that they should be aware of when looking to buy, and how certain items can hold them up or might deny them being able to move forward in the process. So, could you share a little bit about some things that they should be preparing for, or some things that can hinder them if it's not right when it comes time to sign those documents, and the different processes that take place when closing the deal?
Right. So, let's start with credit score. So, some loans will take a credit score for as little as 580. A lot of the programs they have out there to help you with down payment assistance, they're going to want at least a 640. That being said, I'm not going to say don't buy a house at 580 or don't buy a house at 640. You're just going to want to have the strongest credit score possible, and that's just a general adult life hack, I guess. You just want to make sure you have a better credit score just so that you can have a lower interest rate. Also, I know a lot of us millennials have student loans, so that's always a hot button. Depending on what kind of loan you get, they can either only count a certain part of your student loans as being a part of your debt to income, which we call it DTI for real estate jargon. And then they also have conventional loans where they don't have to count your student loans at all, but you would actually have to have down payment money. And usually a down payment is anywhere between 3.5% to 5% of the purchase price. So when you're coming to talk to me about any issues that you think you might have, it may not even be an issue. I would suggest reaching out to me. I can connect you with a lender. I can also connect you with people who do free credit repair and free financial coaching. They can help you out, and that's why I was saying I can help you out and get you in a position within 3 to 6 months. So everybody has their own unique issues, but if you feel like there's something that could be hindering you, just give me a call, and I can see what I can work out for you.
So definitely connect with Jasmin if you are looking to buy or you're in the process and you need some tips on what you need to make sure that everything's running smoothly, because that's so important. And like you said, credit score, that's like the biggest life hack. We should know that that's important, right? As well as making sure you know the information concerning your loan as well. So what would you give to listeners? What is some advice you would give to listeners who are thinking about getting into the real estate industry and they want to grow in the real estate industry? What is some advice you would give to those listeners?
So I think lately what I've been seeing is a lot of people just think there's one way to be in real estate. You don't have to be an agent to be in real estate. There's so many ways to be involved in real estate. So I have lots of things to tell you. So one way is being an agent, obviously. Another way is being an investor. So a lot of people don't think about it, but your home that you live in is your first real estate investor. If you own a home, you are a real estate investor. There's other ways to invest in real estate, like you can pay on taxes, back taxes for people. It's a very minimal risk, or it's basically no risk way to invest in real estate. Basically, all you do is go pay for people's taxes who haven't paid their taxes, and if they want to pay their taxes later, they're required to pay you plus interest what you've paid on their taxes. So basically, you're making money off of interest. And if they don't pay, then you basically get a house after a certain amount of time. That's yours. So that's another way. Another way to invest in real estate is, lately I've been seeing investment groups pop up. So instead of you being the actual person who's out here flipping the houses, you can just invest in someone who's flipping houses. Like if you have a smaller amount of money, like $5,000. So like 4 or 5 people can get together and give $5,000, and now you're able to invest in real estate without having to have such a large amount of money. So there's also, being a landlord. There's also using your own home for short-term rentals. There's executive rentals. There's all sorts of things you can do. There's all sorts of things you can do with the government, with the property that you have. If you are looking for creative ways to use your property, you can call me for that too, because I have lots of ideas of how to put your property to use.
When I say wealth of knowledge, I hope everybody's taking notes. All these nuggets that Jasmin is giving out, she's giving out free nuggets tonight. So I hope you're taking notes on that. And there is so many different ways. Thank you for sharing some of the ways that real estate is. Like you said, I think some people think it's just being an agent, right? But it's so much bigger than that.
Right.
And I know wholesale is a very big one too. So could you speak about that a little bit?
Yeah, people have been asking me about that a lot lately. So as an agent, it's actually unethical for me to be a wholesaler, so it's not something that I do. But I do work with investors who do that, and it's essentially getting people who have distressed properties, like maybe they're going through a divorce, they've got an inherited home they don't want, or maybe they can't afford the home that they're in and they're looking to get out quick. What a lot of investors will do, they'll go talk to these people and say, hey, what are you looking to get for your property? Let's say the person says, I'm looking to get $100,000 for my property. Well, the wholesaler will go out, shop that property, and see if they can find a buyer. They might charge the buyer $120,000. So, but the seller doesn't really have an idea of how much the wholesaler is making per se. So basically, the wholesaler will sell the property to the buyer and give the seller $100,000, and they take the $20,000. So it's essentially, when you think about wholesaling, it's kind of like if you think about wholesaling in the retail business, where you buy it for a low price and then you sell it for higher. It's basically the same thing.
So
but as an agent, what were you saying?
No, you go ahead.
I would say, but as an agent, we're bound to a code of ethics as a realtor, and I'm not allowed to do those type of deals because I have to disclose everything to my clients. I can't have anything that they don't know about in the process. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's
basically,
why
a realtor could not do, a real estate agent can't be a wholesaler investor. They can't do both, is what you're saying.
No, it's unethical. So the only way that I can be involved in the process, let's say I meet a wholesaler, he tells me that he has a property. Now, if I have a buyer for that property, I can work with them, with my buyer, to help buy that property. But I can't go to the seller and try to wholesale the seller's property.
Great advice. You know what? I hope our listeners are listening, because I think sometimes people think if you go into wholesale that they can do both. So I'm glad you shine light on that.
No, this is very, there may be some lawyer out there who can write it up for you to where it's totally legal, but it's extremely unlikely that you as a realtor will be able to execute a deal as a wholesale on the selling side. You can certainly participate on the buying side, and if you can end up getting a bigger commissions working with wholesalers if you're on the buying side, but you totally disclose to your buyer the situation that's going on, because you're not representing the seller in that situation, you're representing the buyer.
Awesome. So as far as people being wholesalers, do they have to have a license to do that, or no?
You do not. Nope.
Yeah, okay. Right.
So the only thing you need a license for to be involved in real estate is to be an agent. Also, I didn't mention, but another way to be involved in real estate is to be a developer or to be in construction and you're a builder. There's all those things that you can do as well. And there's also commercial real estate.
So for our listeners that are listening, I hope you're writing and taking these nuggets. And if you're interested in real estate, you should be. Like she stated, if you own a home, you are an investor already anyway. So this is something that you should be investing in. So I hope everybody is taking these amazing notes and listening to these nuggets that Jasmin is sharing with us tonight. So you have built multiple tables for yourself. So I asked all of my guests this question: how did you create your seat at the table?
Good question. So I would say just my personality in general. I'm definitely the wild card of my family. I've always done my own thing, beat to my own drum. So I feel like it was natural progression for me to work for myself. When I was working for Sherwin-Williams, I used to go dollars to have that service, and I thought to myself, that's something I can be doing on my own, and I could be making money without having, Sherwin-Williams paying me whatever they think I'm worth. And that was my main problem, is feeling like I'm owned by this company who's paying me what they think I'm worth. And so whenever I decided I didn't like that concept of them telling me when I had to be at work and when I could go on vacation, I decided that I was going to do whatever I had to do so that I can be on my own time and not borrowed time. So I basically just grinded it out. And for the first year and a half I was in business, I went to as many trainings as I could go to. I looked at as many webinars as I could look at. I talked to as many people as I could who were involved in the industry. I was always on my computer working. I attended every networking event I could, and I made the connections that I needed to make so that now I don't have to be out as much in order to make my business flow. Now it's more about strategy. So I would say that I created my seat at the table by just being hardworking and being diligent and not giving up.
I love that, and I consistently follow you, and I've met you in person more than once, and you are doing an amazing, amazing job. And what I will say, and I'm glad you spoke about that when you were talking about creating your seat at the table, relationships are everything. So I know it's really big, definitely in real estate. So can you shine light on that a little bit more about how building those genuine relationships are important, definitely when you're trying to grow in the real estate industry?
Oh, yes. So you want to be liked among your peers as well as being liked amongst your customers or clients. So, your peers, if you have a good relationship with your peers, you can sell houses faster because you have other real estate agents to reach out to who may have buyers who want to buy your properties that you're listing. It may lessen hurdles for you if you're working with other agents you have good relationships with, because the agent can always influence their client on which offers to go with, or, what client they should work with. And if you have a good reputation of being a good agent and being ethical with other agents, they will want to work with you. And not only that, but I would say my best customer, and I close at least one house a month with him usually, or at least every other month. I met him when I was 18 years old, and I actually worked at a real estate company. I was a receptionist, and he was an agent at the time, and I met him that long ago, never knowing that he would be my best customer, 15 years later or 10 years later. And so me being a good receptionist at the time translated into me being, him trusting me to be his agent on basically all the deals that he closes to this day. So relationships are very important. Most of my money comes from him, and he refers me to everybody who he comes across. So relationships are everything.
Absolutely. And you shine light on something else, and I don't know if you probably noticed it. I'm sure you did. You said you was a receptionist, so you got in the room. And once you got in the room, you see how those doors opening. So it's so important, like for our listeners that are listening, getting in the room and showing up, right? And it opens all those doors for you.
Right. And everything, I know we're a popcorn generation. I like things quick too. But I'm here to tell you, nothing has happened quickly for me. Nothing at all. Even people who are looking at me thinking that, it just took off for me. It has been a long process for me, and I've just done it in stride. I don't, you don't usually broadcast your failures. But I've definitely had challenging situations. I've definitely been broke. I've definitely been hard on myself and all those things. But you just have to stay the course, and you just have to keep going. You can't give up. And you just have to keep your big why in mind of why you got started, where you want to go, and create, small punch list goals for yourself so you constantly feel like you're achieving something.
I love that. That's so important. So thanks for shining light on that. So you just talking about your failures, and that's the next question. So what did failure teach you on your journey?
Definitely what not to do, and definitely how to have a good attitude even when you fail. Not giving up because of failure, not judging every client just because you had one bad client, not letting, failure get you down to the point where you're not progressing and moving forward. I just kind of have almost become numb to failure because it's inevitable in this industry. There's a real estate saying called buyers are liars. So basically, I would say that being a real estate agent is almost like you're a counselor. You're almost like, I'm not going to say I am a doctor, but like I counsel people. I'm like all these things to people when they come to me, but people don't realize you can't lie to your doctor. You can't lie to your lawyer. It doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't help you. And so I've ended up in situations where people have like not told me the whole truth, and then I can't help you. You know what I mean? So I would say that, when you fail, just remember that's a part of it, and there's nowhere to go but back up.
I love it. I love it because it's all a lesson, right? It's all a lesson. It's all a part of the
Right.
process. So what did success teach you? Because you're very successful.
Success taught me that it is earned. So it's definitely not given, and you got to get up every day to continue to be successful. And so I feel like success is temporary. And so I just learned to not celebrate myself too much whenever I have been successful about something. It's okay to be happy about it, but don't get too excited where you're not still continuously working on continuing your goals. So definitely success is earned, because I've had months where I've made $15,000 and then I've gone 3 months and not made anything. So I would definitely say success is earned every day.
I love that. I like that you shine light on this earn, right? Because you got to do the work. You have to do the work. Got to do the work. Yes. So we are in a new decade, a new year. So what can we expect from Jasmin in 2020?
Ashley, I'm so excited. You just have no idea. I'm just so excited. So I haven't really told anybody but my close friends, but I just passed my broker's test last week.
Congratulations!
Thank you. So I feel like I'm almost like a vet in the game now. So I passed my broker's test, and I'm trying to close up my last few deals that I have with the company I'm with now, and hopefully by the end of this month, next month, I will be opening Designer Agents Realty LLC. So it will be my own real estate company, and I won't be hiring agents right away, but once, I have formed a proper training technique, and once I have gotten everything together where I feel like I can have somebody on with me, I'll probably be hiring 2 to 3 agents to work with me.
I love it. Super congratulations on everything. That is amazing. Amazing.
Thank you.
So go ahead.
I was going to say, so that's my seat at the table. At the end of everything in 2020, checks will be written directly to me.
I love it.
No longer having a broker cut me my check. I am the broker, and they'll be writing checks to me, and so I'm so excited about that.
I love it. Super congratulations. And for the listeners that are listening and might want to come and work for your company, they just need to contact you when you announce it?
Yes. So it won't be immediately, but sure, if you're working on your license, you can certainly reach out to me. I'm not discriminatory, but I will say that whoever I hire is going to have to fit the Designer Agent's brand. And they're going to have to be somebody with high ethical standards, good person, good personality, and so we can keep the good energy going over here.
Absolutely. So our listeners that are listening, connect with her. So tell our listeners how they can follow you and support you on all social media platforms.
So I'm mostly on Instagram, and on Instagram I'm at designeragent_Jazz, and that's JAZZ. It's bad. I'm not really on Twitter that much. I'm really only connect my Instagram with Twitter, so I don't even really know what my Twitter name is. But I'm also on Facebook, Jasmin Ivy Williams. And if you would like to go to my website, you can kind of check out some of my designs I've done in the past. And you can also book consultations with me, and that's www.thedesigneragent.com.
I love it. Definitely connect with her. She is doing some amazing things with her brand. Super congratulations again, Jasmin, on becoming a broker. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, yes. So definitely connect with her. She's somebody to know. Book her, get involved with her, support her. So thank you for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to come to the table. This has been a powerful interview, and I can't wait to invite you back.
Thank you. I can't wait either. I really appreciate you inviting me, Ashley.
You are welcome, and I know we'll see each other because we're in the same state. I know we'll see each other around soon.
Yes, we will.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks.
So I would like to give a special thanks to my intern, Sarah, from Tennessee State University, and my intern, Vontaria, from Winston-Salem State University. You all may follow me on Facebook at Ashley Little and on Instagram at _Ashley A. Little. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Creating Your Seat at the Table, where Ashley speaks with corporate professionals, celebrities, entrepreneurs, authors, and speakers who are transitioning or have transitioned to entrepreneurship.